I made it.
Barely.
I did better than you. You made more noise than I did.
Factually, that is unfactual.
We'll go back and listen.
Okay, we'll go back and listen. Yes. So, hello, greetings. Welcome back to a new episode of the Paid in Full podcast. We are your hosts, JP and Mia. We were running a little quick social experiment here to see if JP could sit through the intro music.
I did better than you.
I think that the listeners will be able to determine that. So, we are a happily married podcast couple for new listeners. Thanks for giving us a chance over your earbuds and AirPods and whatnots. And to our return listeners, welcome back. We've had some growth over the last week and a half. We were experiencing some household sickness that kind of put us out of commission for just a smidgen, but we are back and healthy and blessed and grateful to be continuing on this journey of life. So,
are we healthy?
Yeah, well, compared to a lot of other people, we are. We still have some residual sickness, but we're coming along. It's okay. It's going to be okay.
Word.
We're going to just try to get better as we simultaneously get ready for daylight savings and getting used to being lighter longer in the day and confusing us. So that'll be fun too.
Forewarning to everyone who is on their second strike at their job. You need to set your clocks because you're going to be late tomorrow. And don't get fired because of daylight savings time.
It's going to be one. It's going to be at least one.
It's going to be multiple.
Yeah. I said it. That's why I said at least one was going to be like, my clock ain't set itself back, so my clock didn't go forward.
Do employers give leeway on that?
Employers?
Yeah.
Do they give leeway on the fact that people may be an hour
late?
Are they going to be an hour late or hour ahead? Because it's an hour late because we spring forward. So we lose an hour.
Yes.
So if you normally wake up at 5, it's going to be 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And you're going to be late.
Yeah.
I don't know. Y'all will have to tell us, listeners, would your employer allow you kind of a day of reprieve if you're late? I know that it won't work in education. I can't show up at school at 9:30 because it's first period. And, they probably would blow up my phone before I even get to that point. So they'd be, blowing me up, trying to wake me up. And I'd be like, what is happening? It's 8:15. They're like, no, sweetie, it's 9:15. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll find out, though.
Do better. Go to work on time.
Yeah, y'all make sure we're going to lose an hour, y'all. So it is what it is. Sorry to people who have to work overnight. Y'all going to lose an hour. Do they still pay the people like their 8 hours even though they only work 7?
I have no idea. Okay. That's not my department no more.
Okay.
I do not care.
I know. I remember us not. I was like, no, you work 7, you get paid for 7. Sorry, because the other person has to get paid for 9 when it goes back.
Yes.
So yeah, it balances out. Yep. All right, look at us, business folks talking. So today's episode is a little spicy. JP gave me that was the wrong button.
Spicy.
It is spicy. We're going to be discussing if and how social media and relationships could coexist. Okay. And this is just stemming from some observations that we've made as a couple.
That Mia's made.
Observations that we've made as a couple in terms of tendencies
that Miss Mia has made.
People of our generation and younger. And so we're going to try to impart shed some light on what people may or may not know they look like on social media when certain habits erupt. Okay. So we're going to give you sort of a mirror. We're going to put a mirror up to some of the tendencies that couples tend to do or that we see some couples do and what my research tells us, of course, and sort of put a mirror up and then put a mirror up against ourselves, of course, because anything that we talk about it always is stemming from a place of growth for us or a place of improvement needed on our parts as well. So that's what we're going to talk about. Social media and relationships. Can they coexist? All right. JP, you ready?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I am. All right. He loves me so much. All right. So I want to start our discussion on, we're just going to kind of launch into habits that we have seen some couples display on social media. And then we'll kind of discuss how it may or may not come across to the general audience.
I'm gonna let you lead.
You're gonna let me lead, okay?
This whole episode, I'm gonna let you work this out. We together,
but I'm driving.
You driving,
okay? But you're gonna talk to me from the back seat, right?
Yeah, I'm Mr. Daisy.
Okay, I'm driving Mr. Daisy. All right.
I'm an old 78-year-old white man.
Oh my God. Mr. Daisy. All right. So I just got a visual. That was weird. I just got like Harrison Ford in my brain. All right. So let me just kind of get a little tiny disclaimer. JP and I are exennials, which means that we are kind of smashed between Generation X tendencies and millennials. So JP is a true exennial because he was born in 81, and I am a very, very old millennial. I was born in 84.
Put my business all out there. You tell your age.
I just said I was born in 84.
I'm trying to reach the 17 to 24-year-old demographic.
Well, that's okay. We don't look our age. So,
well, if you're going to go all in, you might as well stop sugarcoating the name. We are geriatric millennials.
That's what we're called. Geriatric millennials.
I
don't like that word. Nope. No, we are exennials. That's where we are.
Geriatric millennials.
Okay. So, anywho, but the reason why I brought that up is because we were around at the forefront at the start of social media. And so we've had the early social media accounts, even if we think about AOL, like chat rooms were a form of social media. We just didn't call it that at the time. So we were chatters in chat rooms, asking people for their age, sex, and location before social media even existed. And so, of course, as social media has grown, we've grown up with it. And so we have a little more insight into how it has changed than generation, X's, older X's, and generation Z's, because they've always had it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I just wanted to kind of put us into the circle of discussion where, not to say that we're like more expert, but we've been around the social media carousel for the bulk of its existence. And so that's, the lens through which we're coming from and how we're going to sort of approach. Okay. So I wanted to start with...
Did you do the party line?
I didn't. My mama wouldn't let me because I think it was like $9.99.
It's like 99 cents a minute or something. I don't remember. I never
but they used to run like $9.99 for 10 minutes, which is essentially 99 cents a minute. And my mom was like, if you call that number on my phone and blow up that phone bill, she would, she was a little threatening. I never did the party line, but that's social media too.
We didn't do the party line. We had like 3-way calling where it would be like 5 people at each house or something. And then you ask, can I speak to such and such?
What? So y'all just be all on the line, on different people's lines?
Yeah.
Yeah, the party line was expensive. I didn't get to do the party line. I was like, I don't know, elementary school, probably 4th or 5th grade. Mm-hmm. But I do remember when 3-way calling started. Because, of course, we had like 2-way when you on the phone and the beat, And then my mom bought the phone that they had the caller ID, so you could actually see who was beeping in. And then it's like another friend, and it's like, oh shoot, let me get them. And so you talk back and forth to them on both ends and tying up both lines. And then 3-way popped up, and that was just like mind blowing that you can talk to 2 other people on the phone at the same time. So we didn't have 3-way, we just had the 2.
Okay, but yeah, just sidetrack.
That's good. We're thinking about the origin of social media. So, and then I'm thinking about pagers, because pagers could be another kind of social media. I couldn't have a pager. My mama said no pagers, and no 2-way pager, because that was a major thing too. What was those little T-Mobile? T-Mobile had those little God, I don't remember what they were called, but you would flip them up and like open them. It probably was a 2-way pager. Maybe what I'm thinking of.
Sidekick?
Yes, a sidekick. Oh, I wanted one. I still want one. I wanted a T-Mobile sidekick so bad. But because you can type like a typewriter and talk to people.
I would say one of the first ones would be that I could remember was it the MASH?
What do you mean?
With the where you had the paper and you
and you folded the paper and you moved it around.
Yeah,
it was like the I don't know what we called that little thing where we used to fold it and you used to flip it up and you used to have a message underneath it.
Yeah,
that wasn't MASH. MASH was on flat paper. MASH was just like you do the little.
What was that called?
I don't know. I don't remember what they were called.
You know what I'm talking about?
And you used to just have messages. We used to just throw notes at each other. So. I guess notes in class were social media. Yeah.
Heads up, 7 up.
Oh, yeah. My students asked to play that the other day. And I was like, y'all didn't even know what the original game was.
All right, let's get on track.
So,
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go before we go back into the 80s.
Well, we're already in the 80s.
And it's civil rights.
But now you see where we're from. So that's the origin, and that's the time we're coming from.
The crack era.
That in the 80s. So, all right. So here are some things we've noticed that have, I guess we've evolved with social media in terms of relationships. So, and then we'll just sort of give our observations on it. The first thing we've seen, observations. Yes, that's a nice way of saying it, right? So the first thing we see is the creation of a fantasy life. And so I think this can apply to all of the social media networks because, of course, we have our video-based networks like YouTube and TikTok and Snapchat. And then we have the ones that are just text-based like the Twitters and your Instagram is, I guess, picture and text-based. Mm-hmm. We got Facebook, which is picture and text based.
The devil.
Yeah. All of them have devilish qualities. So what we tend to see is sometimes there's a intentional creation of a fantasy between in a relationship that may or may not exist, strictly because I think sometimes people tend to forget that we know them in real life. And the life created on social media, on the stage of social media, may or may not be what is actually happening in real life. And then that begs the question of, do you have to tell the truth on social media? Because some people think that social media, you can just create this own image of yourself anyway, right? Because that's why filters exist. I don't look this cute in real life, but I can filter myself down. So could you filter your relationship and it still be okay? I don't know. So that's one thing we tend to see is anyone can pretty much attest to a perfect couple online, but not so perfect in real life, right? Some of our couples are not even really married. They're just married online. Linking to that, the politics of the relationship status. You remember like when Facebook first came up and it was all about what your relationship status was. So it had like 8 or 9 different options. It was like, it's in a relationship. It's complicated.
That came later. I think it was.
Did it come later?
I think it was just single and in a relationship.
Single in a relationship. Okay. And then it became it's complicated
and stuff like that. That came later.
Okay. And then it became complicated, and then we couldn't really tell who was actually single and who wasn't. So I think that still goes on without that little feature, because I don't even remember. I don't remember ever. I know when we got married, I changed it to married, and then of course I haven't changed the status since. So I don't even know if I can change it,
because the way that it's evolved, you don't go to people's like individual page now. You go on, you're scrolling you're scrolling your wall. So you don't see their stats anymore, and then you comment on stuff that you see on your wall.
That you see, that you see on your timeline. Yep. So that's true. Okay, so we'll get down to that.
The only way you really go to somebody's page is if you were looking for them specifically.
If you would, and trying to find out if they, they got kids. So, another observation that we have made are conjoining social accounts. So conjoining accounts, what I mean by that is when we have a friend who has both her name or his name and their significant other's name as one name, and then their last name or both of their last names together. And so it looks as if they have one social media account for the couple as opposed to an individual account. I get so confused.
Go off
with those.
Trigger warning going to be starting in 5, 4,
very honest.
3, 2, 1.
So, who am I talking to right now?
Go off.
I know I went on her page. Okay, this is just me. This may be me. This may be shared by many people, and this may be like anti for those of you who have conjoining accounts. And then you guys can please shed the light for me so that I will know how to better tailor myself.
Take it easy. She's a Sagittarius.
If I'm looking for my friend and I want to talk to my friend, I don't know if I'm talking to her or her significant other because they're both one page.
Are they really your friend if you don't have their number?
Well, if I'm trying to get, sometimes I have people who I tend to try to get some information. So if I'm looking for, I don't know, a recommendation for someone like who's a dermatologist, and I have a friend who's a dermatologist. More so an
online contact, not
if I'm looking for some correspondence with the person.
Okay.
Yes. So I don't want to say I'm looking for a friend. I'm looking for something. I'm trying to get a piece of information. Like right now, I'm trying to find sunscreen. So I'm let me contact
that word
my derm.
Become very loose.
It can, and it did because Facebook helped with that. Yeah. You're making friends. So I'm trying to find some type of information from a particular person on social media. But if they have a conjoining account with their spouse or significant other, I don't know who I'm talking to. And sometimes I feel as if I'm looking for specific information from a person and her boyfriend or her man can see our conversation, is that going to be a problem? Am I going to cause a problem in their relationship? I'm thinking of hypothetically, if I'm telling a friend, hey, you need to look out for whatchamacallit dude because he's trying to call me and trying to get your number. But her man is part of the account, but we're talking about another dude. Is that going to cause a problem? So I get so confused.
It falls into the sharing of information. Like I said,
right.
If the person is really your friend, you would be able to call them.
Okay.
On something like that.
Yeah, you should be able to, but people know that others also DM them information,
that's a paper trail.
Yes, you making it outside the box. I'm trying to talk about the account itself.
We talking?
Are you saying that if I'm really going friend, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about if I have information to give a person on social media, period, and it could be incriminating to them, but I'm sharing it in their inbox, but their boyfriend is attached to the account. It seems as if that would get them into trouble.
And maybe you should wait till you see them see them in person or contact them. Like I said, this all falls into the same thing. We're getting into social media and whether or not it's real or fake. This falls into the same thing.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Okay. I know.
I'm going to say just what if the person lives in another state? I will not see them in person. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be involved in somebody's drama. And I feel like it's dramatic if you have both you and your bae on one page, it feels from the outside as if I can't trust him with his own social media account. So let's just make one, boo, and then we'll both be together all the time, happily loving, and we ain't got to worry about these hoes out here trying to talk to you or talk to me. That's what it feels like. And so I feel as if I'm giving out some information in an already particularly what looks like shaky kind of situation, that I could blow that up a little bit, just trying to contact the girl or trying to contact the guy. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Okay. That's why I'm confused by it. So listeners, if y'all have a conjoining account with a partner, I need y'all to tell me, like, what is the motivation behind it? Because honestly, I wouldn't know unless someone told me. So I don't want to be ignorant about it. I do want someone to enlighten me on what was the decision making behind having one account as opposed to two.
And sometimes you just got to be the joker and let some shit blow up.
Yeah. Well.
So hey, if you're already against it, so
I'm just like, why do people do that?
Just like a little puppy, just
like, I know, just grinding on it.
Hey, just put it out there and let it blow
I
up.
only know like 2 or 3 personally, and I don't think I have information for them that would do anything. But it's just always weird. I'm like, what if I want to talk to him? What if I want to talk to her? But I'm talking to both of y'all. What if I don't even like her, but I like him? I don't want to talk to her because then she'll know I don't like her. Right? It gets weird.
So
it can get weird.
I'll toss this out here. I challenge you. I say we need to make us a test one.
A test singular account. Mm-hmm. We have
and try it for.
No, we have paid in full podcast ones. So that's essentially both of us.
That's not social media. That's an email.
No, I mean we have our Facebook and our Twitter that we can both access.
I'm talking about Facebook, where everybody knows us.
JP and Mia paid in.
Yes,
as one social media.
Yes, I'm going to do it. We're going to try.
We're going to test it out.
We're going to try for a month, see how it goes.
But I'll be like, why? Like, do I just like?
You can see the benefits of it.
But then I'll feel like I got to post, hey, Mia's online if you want to talk to me. Because I'm like, because people want to talk to me.
That's a mental block.
It's not. I'm not trying to. Oh. That's why I said I am ignorant to the motivation behind it. Testing it out, I'm not even going to be up there. I'm going to be on mine. Like, I'm just going to be on mine. We would have to like, what do you do? Like the pause?
You can just see the reaction. See the reaction of others towards how they would, I'll do it as an experiment going forward.
Okay. And see if we get the same kind of information. People can start watering stuff down because they don't know if it's me or you. I don't have anyone who's giving me like anything particularly like incriminating. So I'm like, it probably won't make a difference one way or the other. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. All right. We'll see what happens. Okay. That's just an observation.
Mia hates love.
I don't hate love. I want to know what it is beyond love. I love you to death, but I don't know. I don't think I have to share a social media account with you. Here's another observation from the social media world. I put subtweeting in quotation marks because that is a Twitter term. Subtweeting your significant other in front of the globe, the whole interweb, global interweb. Subtweeting, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the term, is blasting out your significant other, demasculating them or unmasculating or whatever the term is, talking crazy to your significant other while everyone can see. And so that's a really big observation that we've noticed, particularly with younger generations. It is oftentimes a distraction, I think, because a lot of the times we see it with couples who we know are together in real life, and it often creates the question of why are y'all doing this on the internet? So JP took a quick hiatus. He's back. All right. So what I was saying when you were gone is that it creates a lot of questions about why exactly they are airing out their dirty laundry in front of everyone. It is quite disturbing. I think it can breed a lot of ill will in real life, let alone amongst the people who are watching it. Now, some people eat this stuff up. Some people get the popcorn and they're like, oh, snap, they fighting again. And then they're watching the fight go back and forth between the couple, you know, whether you're same sex or heterosexual or whatever. It's unnerving for anybody. But people who love that kind of thing, fine. I'm not in the mindset that all attention is good attention. I think there is a such thing as bad attention, and it can impact, you know, your relationships long term. Not just your relationship with your spouse or with your significant other, but with the people who are watching. Because now I don't want to say nothing to you if I think you're going to blast me out on the internet behind my back. Like, that's craziness. And I am highly against it. I don't care who you're talking about, why you're talking about it. I don't believe in using social media as a quote unquote therapeutic session. That is not what it is for. That is not its original purpose. I don't believe that is what it is supposed to be doing. It should not be, oh, this is therapeutic for me to blast out my childhood or blast out why my man made me mad today. That is ludicrous. So
Woo! Okay.
I'm just saying it is. And it is a big problem. And we're going to try to help with that problem. JP's laughing, but I am so serious right now. Maybe I'm coming from a personal point of view, but I am so serious. So
Ooh, okay. Yeah. There we go. Therapy. I'm back. Yes, I am here.
Where did you run off to? I was like, where'd you go?
I had to snatch up some collars right quick.
Okay. All right. This is the life because, of course, little people, you know, we're parents, so it is what it is. I just saw him take off and I said, what in the world happened? All right.
I had to go chickadee check some Mark-ass busters.
Chickadee check. All right.
Okay.
You want me to go forward? We come back around to that because it's gonna cycle back around.
No, we good. And it comes to that people don't have communication skills because technology is replacing human interactions.
Yes, it is in a major way. Yeah.
And people like to feel right. So they'll put stuff out there to get confirmation from others. Yes. It could be somebody from Pakistan, but if they like it, then they're on their side.
That's true.
So they're not really thinking about the people that they are intimately connected with. That their opinions don't matter if they get enough affirmation from
the world,
other places, because for the most part, you're always going to find you're going to find what you're looking for, and if you're looking for agreement on a subject or something, the internet is the place to find it. Yeah,
you're going to find at least one person who agrees with you, no matter how crazy the opinion is. Yeah, and I didn't think about the affirmation part. That oftentimes I think of Kanye, right? Kanye gonna find 10,000 people who agree with him, no matter how outrageous he can say whatever. It's gonna be somebody who say, "Yep, he right. Yep." Yeah. So,
because believe it or not, as hard as we work to be as a couple or something, if we were to have a disagreement and you were to go online and say that I was a piece of shit, there's probably going to be some people that have been waiting for it just to agree with you.
Yep.
And say, I got the moving truck. I'll come pick you up, sis.
Yep. And it's going to be people like, yep, I knew it. And then they're going to be talking about how they knew it behind our backs. Yeah. See, I told y'all they were lying. It ain't nobody that ideal. See, we knew it was coming, even though it would be 100 other people who would be devastated. And most of those 100 other people are in my family and close friends. They would be devastated. But they don't matter sometimes because I'm trying to find that one person outside in the world who would agree with me and who gonna actually say, hey, I'm going to come in and help you out, girl.
Yeah, because rule number one in social media is that none of this shit is real and nobody really cares.
Mm-hmm. Nobody cares. Yeah. But it's a lot of times, and I like how you brought in the communication part, that we're losing our sense of person-to-person communication. Another thing that we're losing is compassion. So we sometimes kind of robot out, and we don't think before we post something, and don't think about the the repercussions of what we're saying. Like, hey, sometimes people post without saying, this could be taken askew. And I have been guilty of that as well. I've posted things and I've deleted, or I've posted and somebody said, I had to delete that, girl, because that was a little harsh. So it happens, right? Especially if we're posting in emotional states. So we're losing our sense of, hey, maybe I should think about how the person is going to take this first before I actually do it. We just do it. And then we start getting that affirmation and that confirmation that, hey, I did the right thing. And then the person who you just doo-dooed on is sitting over there like, what the hell did I do to you? So
yeah, it used to be 100% of, I'd say 90% of the time, if you've seen somebody that needed help or something, you would go to help them. Right. It's now a percentage of where it's become 75% of people, their first reaction is to reach for their phone.
Dude, you ain't never lied, man. Literally, somebody can be getting in a fight in front of you and everybody has their phone. They holding their phone up. Everybody recording. Nobody is calling the police. Nobody's trying to help. They holding up their phones. So we are a culture of drama. We want to see the drama. Show me the fight. Show me the lady slapping you. Show me the husband and the wife fighting online, right? Because we eat that stuff up, and it's sad, but we are there as a society. We are there. So yeah, that's you said a word. Wow. How about I guess this kind of goes along with the fantasy life observation. It all goes together. It's all the same thing. Yeah, it is. It's all the same thing. We'll just call it a little sub layer. When people pretend like they're not married online. So that's another observation made. There's one thing to like pictures. Liking is a very common, usually harmless choice to give somebody their props for a lovely picture, right? You can like a post, like the girl, like the man, right? When it becomes a pattern of behavior that is obvious, kind of noticeable, that a person likes only certain types of pictures, then that's when it becomes particularly, it could become a problem in a relationship. I'll just say it like that. And then it becomes a problem when family members and friends notice that is happening, and it feels like a disrespect to the significant other who we know. Right. So I am certainly not against liking pictures. Right. Because we should be we're very visual. Humans are visual characters. Right. But what I am against is when it looks as if you are liking, or a person is liking, particular types of photographs. We do know, or we are very aware of the common term Instagram model. And an Instagram model is usually a person who is usually posed or dressed or inviting a certain type of attention to whatever they're showing off, right? Whether it's their body or whatever, in a very strategically posed picture, right? And so that's our Instagram models. And they now sell tummy tees and corset waists and all kinds of stuff, right? Their businesses. They don't do that no more. They don't do the tummy tee anymore.
Oh, I think
they've moved on from tummy tee.
I don't know
because I don't know if tummy tee actually worked. But anywho, and so do your thing. Instagram models a lot of times make a lot of money. They become brand influencers. They become, entrepreneurs, awesome. What happens in real life relationships is that they gain fans and they gain fans,
and
right?
She holding back. She's being real political right now. She's doing good. I'm proud of her.
Thank you, babe. So they gain fans, and sometimes their Instagram models fans are people who and people who are very, very married, right?
We really gotta get a Patreon.
Yeah.
Where I can just let her go.
Oh man, this has to be with this particular type of topics. This topic has been a long time coming, and so what that becomes is it becomes very it becomes contentious in your relationships, again, with your family and friends, when it becomes a pattern. It's kind of like finding out that a family member, I don't know. I don't even want to say porn because it's a little bit more to it than porn. People watch porn, but it's not like they cheating on their spouse, right? It's not like you'll ever be able to go out and find a porn star. It's a little different. It's like it's not like looking at porn, because I'm like, if I watching porn, it's not going to be a bad thing. But if I am, I don't know, sort of living in a way that is mimicking if I am acting in a way that is mimicking a single person and I'm married, then that's when it becomes a problem, I believe, in a relationship. So
I got you.
Yeah. I'm trying to just pick up on it because I guess it is fantasy. It's all fantasy.
I understand. And my stance on it is kind of mind the business that pays you.
Pays?
Yeah.
Not mind the business that minds you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Because if it's at that point, and like I said, you're not in the individual household. Maybe this has been. I'm being devil's advocate.
Yeah. No. Okay. Go ahead, because I can feel where you're going. Okay.
Maybe this has been discussed in the household.
Right. And this is okay.
This is
like a hall pass.
Acceptable.
Yeah.
Maybe that other significant other is part of it. Maybe they have maybe I'm about to go off the rails, but maybe they have a little sex cult.
Okay.
Maybe the one that's doing all the thirst trapping and all that. Maybe they're the little spider weaving a little web, and you got like a little sex basement or something. And
okay.
Hey, we don't know
exactly.
that.
Do your thing.
How hey, what other people eat don't make me shit. So, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And that is perfectly well.
You know what I'm saying? They may be your family. You might love them, but hey, maybe. Hey,
might not love them, but hey,
you don't know. Don't know
what's going on.
You probably haven't. You haven't hung with them in years,
right? That's true.
Maybe they've become a weirdo,
and that is what it is. Yeah, and for me, and that's a good thing as long as the significant other is okay with it. Then, hey, I can't say anything because what I do in my relationship is not the norm or is not the standard, right? And everyone has their own qualms and things that they would allow in a relationship. So
like I say, what works for us may not work for the other people.
That's true.
Now, if said person was to come and say this some BS, this person is hurting my feelings and stuff, then we break out the bats.
Yeah, then
but until then, if they smiling, giggling, everything's peachy keen, hey, cool.
Nothing we can do.
Cool.
Okay, I do love your hot take. Yes.
It's not a hot take.
For me, it's a hot take. It's hot. It might be. All right. And then I know, of course, we'll have listeners who would be able to see both sides.
Freaks in your family.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I know everybody have at least one or two, all right.
It in R. Kelly.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the perennial. So here we go. A couple of things that social media it's a ways that social media can be negative in your relationship. I don't think we are particularly anti-social media in our relationship. I don't think that we pull it in too closely, though. I think we have a pretty solid, healthy balance when it comes to us particularly. So we'll talk about what we do later.
How many friends do you have on your friends list?
940-ish.
Why?
It's a lot of former students. I have like a group of former students who I've taught. I have colleagues. I have a big group of them, right? Because we talk all day. I have people who I went to school with, like grade school with, who I still talk to, because people who I haven't talked to, I've just kind of let those go. So I have and then I have college friends only, who I have of course, I went to an all-women's college. So we have a big, strong alumni network where I can contact them for different things depending on what they do for a living. So I have like lawyer friends and doctor friends and that kind of thing. So I have groups of friends, and it's a lot of them because I've been through lots and lots of schooling. And then I've taught school. So
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Why? What you thinking?
I was just asking.
Yeah, it's around in there. It used to be a lot more, and that was because I was acknowledging people who I didn't talk to, who were like connections of connections.
What's your threshold of accepting somebody?
I have to be able to know you in real life. I only accept people who I know in real life or have known in real life and will talk to. So people who I haven't talked to in a long time, I've purged my pages of those, because you haven't changed your face, your profile picture, girl, like in 2 years. Where are you? So I pretty much unfriend those. But the people who I talk to on my social medias, I've known them in real life, or I know them right now. I have to know you in real life. If you try to quote unquote friend me and you look a certain way, I mean, I don't know, you look like somebody I don't know, and your name is if your name is unfamiliar, I'm not going to friend you. I'm just going to keep deleting the request. And I have done that many times. Even some like cousins of cousins, I don't know who they are, and they'll try to friend me, and I don't know. Like, I'll know we have like 3 people in common. I don't know you, baby. Johnny Payton is one of them. Wonderful, but I don't know who you are. So I'm like, hey, you know my husband. That's close enough for me. So yeah. So yeah. What about you?
I know every single person on my list.
It's a little is.
And hey.
Hey. He's not that. Well, you're active, but you're not as active.
I'm active, but mine is like literally for family and friends.
Yeah, for family and friends.
That's it.
And that's the bulk of mine too, because all of our family is away. They don't get to see the kids. They don't get to see us. So we try to update them on like, hey, this is what the kids are doing. This is how they're doing. This is what we're doing. So yeah. And that's what it's for. Like, that's part of the reason social media exists, is to connect people who are far away from each other.
Is your page locked?
It has limited information on it if you're not my friend.
Oh, I'm private.
You can see, like, you can't see any of my contact information. You can see my pictures, and like, it's like the second tier security. Yeah. So you can't see anything but my name and like my pictures, and that's it.
Yeah. I protect my peace.
Yeah.
So co-workers, that's probably not going to happen. Sorry.
Mine is I make a lot of teacher friends. So it's a little different though in your job, but mine. You don't think so? Co-workers.
So.
We don't work intimately together. We're in our classrooms, and then the only time we're together is during lunch, and that's like 20 minutes. So I work with a group of people who I don't get to see at all day. So then we can go and say, hey, what's something funny that happened to you today? Like, guess what such and such said in class? He made everybody laugh. Like, that's how we connect. And so, because that's our only way of being social at work, because we're not together at work. So we work together, but we're not together. So it's a little different.
Me and my friends know about shootouts and stuff.
So you can't be friends with your boss.
No new friends.
So we can't talk about that stuff online. I know. I'll be like, no. You got to DM me. That's not gonna work. Yes.
We know what bodies are.
So, anywho, going
We nut when we buck.
Oh my God. We are. Let's see. Let's talk about the ways that social media can wreck your relationship. And that's not saying it very kindly, but it can without being checked, right? Social media is a tool. You got to check it. Like, you can't use the same tool over and over because it will rust and it will run down and it will destroy exactly what it's made to build up. So social media as a concept or as a tool is to build communication, right? Of course, we've now used it way too much and it's rusty and it's broke and it's falling apart and it's clanking right in places. And so we have to limit our use of that tool now because it's become a little bit too much. It's become a little too overused, right? So when it comes to applying it to a relationship, here are some of the things that we found. Social media can contribute to unhealthy comparison and unrealistic expectations for what a relationship is supposed to be. That's going way back into when we said creating that fantasy, right? People create an image of a relationship, not really the relationship itself. And if you
work at the Gap and she a cashier at Wendy's, y'all are not a power couple.
Oh, they could. I'm sorry. It could be. Why we laughing? Don't laugh at them. If they are 16, then they could be. If they're 21, they just got out, they just graduated college, they could be couple goals. They could be power couple goals.
If you go to hotels in your town.
What? Hey, we do that. That's called a staycation. Don't do that. That's a staycation. So
no, I didn't try to stunt on everybody with the rose petals, like acting like you at the Baltimore Harbor or something. you in downtown Kennesaw. Stop the bullshit, man. But
in that case, it's like, yeah, you're right. I can't. No. It's more
the
like
Bow Wow challenge. Bow Wow.
Oh man. Okay, you got to explain that for our listeners who don't know what the Bow Wow challenge was.
When Bow Wow was taking pictures of private planes, but he was in
he's on Coach.
He was in Coach. Somebody took a picture of him
in Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally what it is.
Or taking pictures of champagne bottles and all this stuff, and then the person whose picture it actually is call you out on it and show the real picture.
Like you just took my picture and just zoomed in on this Alizé.
Yeah. Thanks.
Oh man. And I think social media too is difficult not to do the comparison because you're looking at your life and then you're looking at this lady with this fantastic set of pictures and it's like, oh man, she's always traveling. But that's a job by itself. Like if you actually take a look at how people have to post and what they gotta post in order to stay relevant, they have a job. Like they've dug themselves into a hole where if they stop doing what they do, then they lose their following. For some people, if they're an influencer, they lose their funding, right? They lose their whole side hustle. So it's easy to get stuck into comparison, but it's unhealthy for a real life relationship. And then we talk about, the couples sometimes spend a lot of time curating an image of who they want, of who they are instead of building on the relationship itself. Right. So it takes a lot of we see it in movies. We see it in TV shows where you see a couple just kind of being on the phone, sitting at dinner, and they're both just on their phone on social media instead of talking to each other. That is an example.
Talking about how good of a time they're having.
Yes. I'm out here with Bae. Look at us. And then you just pick up the phone. She's like, hey, say cheese. They take a picture and then they both back to the phone. There's no real interaction going on at the dinner besides, hey, we got to eat. So they sitting there eating and they're quiet. And it could be a lack of communication, or it could be that they're really just living a social media life.
If your social media is realer than your relationship, you're fucked.
Yeah. And that's saying it very nicely. Yeah. And I think a lot of people do live in that existence. And that's time to take a look at some things differently. Social media itself within a relationship can breed resentment in terms of Sometimes the research says that a partner can feel jealous of how much someone else posts about their partner, and then the person who is in the relationship will look at their partner as if, why aren't you doing that same thing for me? For instance, if I have if someone's looking at my husband and I, and we often share, back and forth on each other's pages, and we just put little messages up or whatever, sometimes a person can look at us and say, and look at her significant other and say, well, hey, JP and Mia, they have that kind of relationship. Why don't you do that with me? Why don't you post on my page? Why don't you say something to me? Say something nice to me. Why don't you do that to me? Right? And then that comes across as jealous. Like, that's jealousy and resentment.
The answer to that, fellas, is just tell her that you're not a weirdo like Johnny is.
That they're weird.
They're weird.
Yeah, we can get a little weird.
Just say you're a normal person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's okay to be normal.
Mm. And then I think you need to know your significant other too. Because if you know that she can be insecure, right? Because I can have insecurities. It just, maybe just put a post on her page every now and then. I don't think that would be a bad thing. Especially when it says you're in a relationship with her. People know y'all are together. Because then if people never see you on their page, it's like, well, are you really together? My goodness. Right?
No.
I'm all in on the page all the time. But I mean, that's not because I don't.
It can't be both.
What you saying?
So.
What? Say.
I'm trying to say so.
Okay. So I can't.
Basically, it comes back to mind your business.
Oh.
Just mind your business.
Yeah, but I'm just saying if you have a significant other who wishes to have messages on their board, just put messages on their board.
If we didn't interact with each other, it's nobody's business.
Oh, right,
it's social media. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But that's something that makes my day.
We don't even have to be friends.
Yeah, you're right. Because I do know people who are in a relationship with someone who's not on social media. Yeah. We don't even know who they are. But they're happy.
So where's the weight? Where's the weight on that?
Yeah.
If they're in a happy relationship, but only one person is on social media, who carries that barometer of how much that person is being loved?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's very perceptive. I was thinking of something, but it left out. It zoomed right out my ear. Oh man. Watch that thing come back at like 3 a.m.
We gotta be balanced. We gotta be balanced. We gotta be fair.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, yep, it left. I was gonna have a comeback. I had a rebuttal, and that rebuttal is gone.
Won.
Oh man. Let him have it. Some people can get stuck in a cycle of scrolling when they're trying to keep an eye on their partner's activities. Now that's a problem. And that's a problem outside of social media that is now using social media as a catalyst for it, right? I think he's cheating on me, so I'm going to watch every little thing he does, right? Who's on his page, who's liking his pictures, who's talking about whatever. If he went out with the boys, are they talking about it? What they talking about online?
We are doomed.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's what
I know.
That's what happens.
We are doomed.
That's what it is. And then it becomes, and then it's sometimes, and it doesn't even have to be a cheating, right? It can be something else that someone suspects, and they go fishing on a page, right? So that's another negative. We talked earlier about the insecurity part of liking posts and that kind of thing. One of the quotes that I found is those who are dating people who overshare on social media tend to have lower relationship satisfaction. First thing I think of, and I don't know why, is like celebrities who overshare. Kim K, right? And she's back to being a straight Kim K now because now she's legally single. Good for her. Overshare everything. Within reason, right? Because of course her family, she has a famous family. They all kind of share, so it's kind of like a thing. It's the family business to be like that. But when you start taking pictures of like the food you're eating and look at this beautiful meal and look at the moon and I'm walking and there's 1, 2, 3 pictures of me walking along the beach, then that's an overshare, right? Just enjoy your life without the camera. But they say that those who do that have lower relationship satisfaction. And I'm thinking, because if I was always on social media and I'm telling everybody every little thing we do, you would say, why do you do that?
Mind the business that pays you.
Right. You would be like, why do you do that? And if I'm insisting, I'm building a brand, you don't like it? I think you're romantic. I'm telling everyone I'm bragging, bae. Then that can become a problem. That can be a contention between the two of us. If I was always doing that, you would not like that. And I know a lot of
stargazing from outside.
Yeah, because then it's like, well, who are you trying to impress, or who are you trying to make mad? Who are you trying to make jealous, right? And if then it would become
you're using your indoor voice outdoors.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's what it would feel like. And so I can see lower relationship satisfaction in that instance, right? So social media, boy, it has a lot of pitfalls, of course, and it's mostly not because of the social media network itself, but because of the way we're using it and the frequency and the absence of any other real life skills, right? We're having now a severe absence of communication, intimacy, compassion for one another, empathy. Those things have gone out the back door. And now it's just people don't believe except what they see in front of them, even if it's a lie, right? Because it's so easy for us to lie online. It's easy. You can create a whole life and, we can be telling you anything. Like right now, we wouldn't even be JP and Mia, but people would believe it because that's what we've told them and that's what we've shown them, right? So let's talk about us.
I want to stunt.
He has said that more than once. Yes.
I want to show what I got.
We're not doing that. And it's not because it's nobody's business, but because I don't like people to know what I have. So
one day I'm just going to walk into one of my offices with just like a mink coat on, like a Frank Lucas coat on.
Where you get a mink from?
Don't matter.
We live in Georgia. You can't buy a mink in Georgia.
Mink coat.
You keep saying you want all the Jordans.
A mink coat with some Jordans on.
Oh my goodness. For no reason. Just because you want to put it on social media.
Yeah.
See, that's perpetuating the problem. Yep. That's what people do. That is the metaphoric way of that's the metaphor of what we do now. Is the Jordans and the mink coat.
I'm tired of people thinking I'm sensible.
We are sensible. People think that because we're sensible people. We're parents and we're husband and wife, and we're very responsible adults.
That's her holding me back. I'll pay $3,000 for some bullshit. I do this because of me.
Oh my goodness. All right, sir. So let's talk about us for a second, because people always want to know, well, what do y'all do? Right. And we don't have an answer, right? We're discussing. We want some honest feedback. We want some education, right? We're just, kind of putting it out there as exennials, millennials, geriatrics, whatever they want to call us, right? So how do we use social media to enhance our relationship? So like we were saying, we are part of the social media, I don't want to say outbreak. That's a negative connotation. The advent of social media came up as we were coming up. We grew up in the 90s, 2000s. And so that's when social media popped off, basically. So for us, we started as, we had Black Planet and MySpace and, all of the
Yahoo Messenger.
Yeah, Yahoo Messenger was real big. I had AOL Messenger for a while. That little disc you had to put into the computer and get it to work. Oh, man. Wait for the internet, take 10 minutes to come up. So the way we look at social media is just right now as a married couple is a way to sort of build one another up, I would say, and then use as a time capsule of memories, because of course we've been together for so long. Our social medias, particularly our memories that come up every day, are usually something that we've done in the past together. something that our children have done, that we've posted about in the past, a funny meme that we shared, some time ago. So that's how some of our things pop up. I know something that we do often, JP does this, is he'll post on my page like song lyric or a quote that we like from a movie or something. He'll put this little face up that he has, his little cartoon face, come here, girl, something up there because he knows that I will eventually check it, and then he'll send me, did you check your page? Or he'll have a video or something that he made that he knows is going to make me laugh, and then he'll ask me, did I check my page? And so for us, that's our way of sort of connecting with one another when we're not together.
I be trying to show off to people that we are perfect love. Trying to make the other people jealous.
So anyhow,
I want you guys jealous of us.
So in that way, we are able to stay connected
three
when
dozen
we're
roses
not.
right now. Just take a picture of them. Just lay them on the couch for you.
And then I'm going to take a picture of them dead because they're going to die in a week. So what is that going to do?
Flick on our fireplace that's below our 97-inch television.
97 inches.
And have the LED lights playing and got some Barry White
Y'all hear him, right?
playing in the background.
If we were those type of people, we would do that. But we're not. Our social media is a direct reflection of our day-to-day. Of course, we don't post everything because the mundanity is not needed, right? Like, oh, I had a Dr. Pepper today, and JP told me, stop drinking so much Dr. Pepper. like that's no fun. Like, who wants to know that? But like last week, we were like, hey, we've got stomach viruses. Yay. And when we did that, it was like creating a sense of solidarity because we're a team. We know JP and me a team. And we like to show our family members who are away, hey, look, y'all, this is what we're going through. We're a little down right now. We would appreciate some prayers. Y'all keep us lifted because, we got the stomach viruses in the house. So we've got to get better and we're trying to keep it away from the kids. So that's the kind of way we use it. I don't think have I subtweeted you ever before? I think I subtweeted you one time. I did.
It missed the mark.
Yeah. I didn't. And it wasn't anything that was like punctuated. Like it wasn't anything that was like
niggas ain't shit.
Right. It wasn't anything like that.
Broke boy.
It was. I don't remember what it was because I remember doing it and then you didn't catch it and I was like,
top flight security of the world.
Right. Top flight. It wasn't anything. I don't remember what it was, but I think I kind of tested out to see if you would actually catch it and you did not. He did not catch it at all. And I was like, oh shoot. Well,
good luck with that one. Told you I don't see very well.
He just, I don't know. I think you had teed me off. So
teed.
Yeah, he teed me off. But I don't remember what it was. It was when the babies were babies. So it was a long time ago. And it didn't even work. So I was like, well, shoot, my husband won't pay attention to any of that.
Better.
Yep. And so I never tried to do it again. But the life we lead is, I don't want to say unfortunately, but I mean, it's about as realistic as you can get. And I don't think I'm too exciting. Sometimes I have funny stories, and I know some of my listeners, a lot of people say I have a funny writing style when I am explaining new experiences. So like I'll post little microblog entries of like getting a Brazilian or that time we were in Miami and South Beach and I was describing the people and they were like, that's some funny shit. Like the way you describe
that's
stuff.
A cuss word.
They say I'm funny and that I should have a travel blog, like a travel experience blog, which I might try in the summer. That might be something fun to do. But anywho, side hustle to the side hustle. But, having memories and, showing people that this is how it is. We're still together, y'all. We still making this work. The good and the bad, I think, is what makes us, that's what we use our social media accounts for. And I think that's a positive. So while being aware of how it can be negative, like we know how it could look if we say a certain thing. So we are very mindful of not fighting over the internet, or we're mindful of if we're upset, just stay away from social media. If you know you're going to react and you're going to say something online that has nothing to do with what you're really talking about and that it's like stemming from something else, just don't. Because I've posted emotional before. And I've had to delete that stuff because I wasn't even mad about anything I just said.
Damn Republicans.
I'm just mad about the world, right? I'm mad because I have to, fight to be, because I'm a black woman. I have to protect my children. Like, I'm mad at the world, but I'm online talking about whatever. And it's misplaced aggression. And then suddenly my husband came up there and then I'm mad at him, right? So that's, just, I would say, just be mindful of the pitfalls, right? And we've listed all the pitfalls. So yeah.
Great job, man.
I do want to say I apologize if I've offended or alienated
She don't like y'all.
anyone. No, but I mean, it's not my point to offend. It's just I am trying to educate and I'm trying to understand for myself certain things. And I want people to be better and do better and think about others for a change. Right. And it's different. We used to think about what other people felt, and now people don't give a shit about what you feel.
That's
and
cuss
how
word.
you, no, but it's serious. People really don't care about what they think you're feeling. They will just think about themselves, and it's not healthy for one, and it can cause a lot of problems. And so, I'm just worried about the things that I've seen and where we're going, because now I got to worry about Drew and Jai and what they going to be doing online. Because my God, if we're like this now, 20 years from now, dude, they just... And then I teach middle schoolers. And so they talk to each other verbally in person like they're online, dude. I'm like, you can't say something like that without having somebody be upset with you. And then they get mad and they like, well, what you mad about? Because you just told them to their face what you would say online behind a screen. You can't do that. Like, you can't say something and not expect consequences for your words. And they don't get it because they're a social media generation. So I have to do a lot of that stoking stoking the fence, basically. Like, I got to just teach them, you can't not expect somebody to react to what you're saying. And so it's the worrying for me that's where we're going. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Okay. Like, it's just that's where it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
So thank you all for listening to our
we
rant.
done? You just good night, everybody.
No, I have to tell people where to find us.
She just ends the show. She talks. Then she just shut it down. That's it. No. That's it. I'll see y'all later. Have a good one.
JP, no, that's not. Because, okay, I want to always have your feedback, but you just be sitting and I'm like, I don't know. We don't have we sitting beside each other and we don't have no kind of like nonverbal communication to say, hey, I got something I want to add in. I just be sitting, JP just be sitting and looking at me. And I don't know if that means that he has nothing more to say or if he does have something to say and I'm just ignoring him and going to the end.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry, husband.
It's okay.
Continue.
All right. Is that it for social media?
I think for the most part, I've probably milked the cow a little too much. That cow is tired. I got to put the cow to sleep for a little bit.
Summary: mind the business that pays you. None of that shit's real.
Yeah, none of that's real.
Where all them PPP? Where all that PPP money at? Can I borrow some?
Right. Did people spend all of it?
Can I use your business card to get some gas and you can write it off?
Oh my God.
On your taxes.
Are they going to give out, the government going to give out more, or that's probably milked? Did they get all that out?
I don't know. I'm talking about the people that have these businesses. I need to use some of your business cards to get some gas. You can write it off on your taxes.
Oh my goodness. Lord Jesus. All right. Yeah. We have social media.
Life is depressing. Life is depressing. Not only is gas $5,
it's gonna be $5, y'all.
We've seen this cycle,
and we're in now. Let me say this: we're in Georgia, and California is already above $5. Mm-hmm. So we have to make sure we acknowledge our poor West Coast listeners who are already over $5 a gallon.
Yeah,
yeah, and then they're gonna start gouging. They're gonna start gouging it. Just wait. It's going to happen.
It sucks. Like I said, gas is $5.
Yeah.
We've been here so long. Mm-hmm. I'm at the point where
Food is
I can't remember my last 10 passwords.
Mm-hmm. And they always want you to be outside of your last 10.
Why am I at the point in my life where I've been on a place so long that I've had 10 passwords on it? I can't even think of that many more passwords.
We don't have that many. You can't use one of your last 10 though. And I'm like, I don't remember the 10th one. What? Man, food is high. We literally can't eat as a family for less than $30 now. Less than 30. It's crazy. $30 used to mean Chick-fil-A or like Zaxby's or somewhere that costs a little more. Now it's freaking McDonald's. We can't eat less than 30. It's bad. It's bad out here. Let alone everything else, all the other societal pressure. We just have basic food and gas to go to work.
Yeah, so
it's hard.
I gotta start working on some new passwords because I'm tapped out.
Yeah, because here's the thing: I have a base one that I use, and I just add the symbols to it. But now it don't let you do that because it'll say the base word is still. So I just start using random names, like people's names that I know. I just go through the family. So it might be my mama's name. It might be my sister's name. Because that's what only thing I can remember.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm with you, babe. So, yeah.
I think the next episode should be about family.
What about family?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I know one of the things is what is the cutoff on dating someone's ex in your family?
What's the cutoff of dating someone's ex?
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking like Bel Air. I'm thinking Bel Air with Will and Carlton. We need to have a Bel Air
episode.
I'm thinking of Bel Air with Will, Carlton, and Lisa. It's creepy to me.
Yeah, that triangle. Now tell me something. Creepy. In the original, in the Fresh Prince, Lisa was Nia Long's character, right?
Correct.
But she didn't date Carlton in the original.
To my knowledge, no.
No, not that we know of. So they've really created this.
Yes.
And it was last year, right? Because didn't they had a fresh breakup, Carlton and Lisa.
I don't know.
Okay, because I don't know how long it's been since they broke up. It
don't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because some people would say it depends on how long it's been.
All right.
Like that, I'm just saying. I don't know.
But anyway, I do love that show. That's a great show.
Yeah, y'all watch Bel Air. If y'all haven't been watching it, we got to watch the Lewis episode, don't we? We're gonna go ahead and watch that. We need. I obviously, because it seems as if JP has gone on without me and watched it.
Over it. So.
He says he skims. Oh, y'all, he is breaking one of the rules of couple watching shows. Don't watch without your significant other, but it's fine. You can go ahead. I need to catch up on the newest episode, thanks, because then I have Abbott Elementary's coming back in another week or so, and Bridgerton is coming back. It's the same week, so I'll have different shows. And I have to keep up. And Atlanta coming on. So we got some shows, y'all. Woo, for our shows coming back. I'm so excited. So we may have to do... Y'all get him. We may have to do a straight Bel Air episode. We have to put lots of spoiler alerts on potentially the next episode, y'all, because if we have straight Bel Air, we're going to give away all the spoilers. So we may do that, baby. That might be fun.
Okay.
All right. And talk about family. So social media, where I was going before JP read me. He read me. Please, we do encourage all of our readers to contact us through our social media accounts.
Listeners.
There I go again. I always do readers. Woo. We are on Twitter, TikTok,
ain't no way I would write Facebook. All this shit we be saying down.
The way we just kind of riff.
Text to type or something.
We do, right? Text to type.
That's the same thing.
Text, yeah, I was just repeating what you said.
I meant text to speech. I said text to type. That's the same thing.
It's getting late. Email us. We're on Gmail, paidinfullpod@gmail.com, especially if you're going to give us some insight, especially when it comes to the conjoining social accounts. We do want to talk to our listeners. I was going to say readers again. So please contact us. Tell us how much you love the episode. Tell us what we've got wrong. Let us know, hey, you guys think about it this way. Don't be mean, though, because that's not nice. We need more nice people in the world. So let us know you're out there. We thank you all so much for listening in, and we will see you on episode 26.
Peace.
What's this?
It's an art project.
Okay, I like it. Picasso. Yeah, that way.
This is the 1001 reasons why we don't trust y'all to bring nothing to any gatherings. 'Cause that's just nasty.
What are you thankful for this Thanksgiving? Beans, rice, Jesus Christ, and Byron. Who? Byron. Who? Byron. It's a hard hat holidays. Respectfully.